Shield, what it is and what it does. And it's very simple, really. There's nothing complicated. So maybe we didn't do a good enough job of educating people on what the SEO Shield is all about. And it's very simple, really. What we did is we took our syndication network, we took our Drive Stacks NT site, and we took the ad ID page, and we took the Press Advantage, the Media Center page, and we put that all under one package, okay? Because it's what you had to do before. What you had to do is go through the process of okay, so you'd order your syndication network. Then you wait on that to come back, and you'd order the Drive Stack and G site so you can include your tier 1 branded, right? That's what we call that. When you get your Syndication Academy, your single tier. It's your tier 1 branded. It's your footprint. That's how you start your entity association, because that's going to be also included in your schema. All right. So we took that, or you'd have to take that, wait for it to come back so that you could order your Drive Stack and G site. And then that would come back and you'd order your ad ID page, or you order your ad ID page and then the Drive Stack, because we create a page on the G site that includes an iframe. And then, of course, the Press Advantage media page to further fill out the entity. So just to clear up all the confusion, it's the pillars that Semantic Mastery is founded on, that MGYB, the Done For You service, is founded on. It's all of the madness in RYS, all of the entity association, all of the keyword plus entity association, all of that is brought under one umbrella. But that's all it is. Then when everything else comes in, the link building, the embeds, the press releases, we never link it to the money site. We link to all of the other properties that are targeting the money site. We power those up, and then they power up the money site. So we never touch the money site. We leave that pristine. We leave that alone. We don't touch it because we want to protect it as much as possible. And that's how we protect it, actually, by doing all that entity work. So Rob, if you have anything to add to this, you're welcome.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go through, I just want to do like a quick, I'm a visual representation guy to maybe kind of show this. So I'm going to share my screen. So I'm going to go through both of these just as kind of quick, but to give a high level overview. So basically on page would be kind of the green here is what I'm calling it. The blue that you see around here is all part of the SEO Shield that you will get whenever you order an SEO Shield from MGYB. That you can order on its own. The RYS Drive Stack, the Google Drive Stack is this one here. You can order on your own. And then the ID page incorporates all these three together. Down here at the bottom is what I would call the ID page, is what these would be here. Okay. So as you see, so with the syndication network, if you expand this, right? So now you can see the syndication network has a whole bunch of different properties that go along with it, right? And you can see it starts to, I drew it this way to kind of visually represent if you're building a shield around your money site. Is kind of where we came up with the shield. You're shielding your money site using all of these other tier 1 properties. So these are tier 1 properties as part of your syndication network. These are the ones we provide. There's other ones out there you can order to even continue to build your tier 1 assets online. Then you got your Drive Stack. So if I expand this, okay, so now we got all the pieces of a Drive Stack. You got your Google site, your old one, your new Google site, the My Maps, PDF, folders, docs, forms, all those type of things, right? So then all of those are now kind of encompassing around your money site, right? So then if you go to an ID page, so if I expand kind of what the ID page has, it includes the Google site, it includes your GMB business site, it's including schema, it includes Pearl Trees and Press Advantage are put into part of this ID page. Pearl Trees, so if I expand that, it's going to include, oops, wrong button. Okay, reveal. So then it includes the Google, so you can see that now it has these pieces put inside of it, right? Which are starting to then, if you visually look at this, you're kind of creating a shield that encircles your money site, right? And then Press Advantage, do the same thing. Expand that, okay? So, and you can get a copy of this graphic on that blog. That's why I'm not going to detail each one of these. So you can look at them. But if you visually look at this, you can see this kind of, it forms, you know, kind of it encapsulates your money site. So it's building, like we kind of joke around, a shield around your money site, right? This is the on-page stuff. I'll just expand these real quick. So these are the type of things you would do on site before you even set up your SEO Shield. But if you expand these, you've got the different things you can do on your money site, expand it again, right? And you keep building all these things out. Same with your Google My Business. You know, there's things you can do inside your Google My Business, which we cover. That part's all on Local GMB Pro, right? So there's a whole bunch that you can do, like your on-page stuff here in the middle. You got your shield that goes on the outside, and this protects the money site in here. So you're never building links directly to this stuff. You're powering this part up around here, okay? So that's kind of the visual representation of what a shield is. It's using these tier 1 assets to protect your site on the web. And by protecting it, you're building trust within the Google ecosystem. You're building basically all these different properties into the Google database, which then just adds trust. Now, not only do you just have this one money site page, but you have all of these other pages and nodes on the web that are validating what's on your money site and inside your Google My Business. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to this. So as you can see, this looks very similar. This one's going to get real busy, right? And part of, you know, to plug Heavy Hitter Club, I suppose, again, you'll get this file where you can even play with this and see how the links go. But so in this version here, it has some of the internal linking structure that is part of the SEO Shield. I did not put it on the other one because it gets way too busy, but you'll be able to see the power of what we're doing here, why we don't even need to build links to our money site. So if I do the syndication network, say I'm going to expand this, right? I'm going to expand it all the way. So right now, okay, looks very similar, right? But now I'm going to expand the drive stack, okay? Okay, you see these links here, right? And this is just a few examples. So now you have the syndication network interlinking with the drive stack, right? So now these are both validating each other, okay? If you do the ID page, I'm going to expand that. So now you can see here, right? Now you've got more interlinking between the drive stack and the pieces that are on the ID page. And again, just I want to reiterate this. These are not all of the links, because if I interlinked all of these, it would just be like a spider web mess. And you'll see how much of a spider web we're creating by internally linking all this stuff and feeding all this to Google. So then if I expand the Pearl trees, okay, you're starting to see, and how I color coded this is the green, these are embeds. So these files are all embedded across each other. These are actually linking back and forth, is how this is working. So let me see if there's another one this, okay? So now if I expand this one, so let's expand, and then let's expand it again. Okay, so now you're starting to see, okay, not only is this each individual piece of the SEO Shield on their own, kind of forming a shield that as they start to interlink, you can now see how it's even strengthening the shield, right? Where they're having embedding across each other. They're all interlinking and building relevancy across each one of these, okay? So this doesn't look too bad. I mean, it's not getting too busy yet, but why we ask for your information from the money site. So watch as I expand the money site, how this starts to interlink and why, and this is actually why it powers your money site. So if I expand this money site, now look at all these links that are going into your internal GMB categories, that are going into your service pages, that are going into your home page, right? And let's expand this again. Okay, so now you can see where even the information you're putting on your Press Advantage page mirrors information that's within your money site. All these links are now going to your money site. Okay, if I expand the Google My Business, if you're doing local, now you can start to see, okay, look how now you've got embeds of your Google My Business stuff spread across this entire shield, right? Let's do another one. So you can see as I expand every one of these, make sure they're all expanded. I mean, just looking at that and knowing that that doesn't include all the actual interlinking and embedding that's going on, now you can see how this shield is basically, you know, being created around your money site. So then this is why we're saying you don't have to now go worry about like building all these links to your money site, because by building this shield around it and validating all of these different properties on the web, that then just validates the trust it builds your brand, it validates the entity through interlinking, through iframes, through schema, through mirroring, right? You're mirroring the same images or the same information across all these different things. So you're feeding all the same information from all different scenarios and from all different nodes on the net to Google into their database. And Google is basically having this huge database, and then they start seeing all the interlinking. And as you do that, you can see right here is our money site. So if I zoom in here, okay, this is the homepage URL. So just at a quick glance, you can see how many links from the from the SEO Shield are being pushed into the homepage. How many links, right here's the Google map, how many embeds and links are being pushed into the GMB map. How the GMB is mirroring, right, the schema, the photos across the website and the GMB. And all these things mirror each other. So you're feeding the same information from different places to Google. How the links and the embeds from your SEO Shield, right, are validating and solidifying the same information that's on your money site that Google has collected. So that is a visual representation of why this works and how it works so well, right? And why we are saying you don't need to build links to your money site. You don't have to worry about those things when you set this up properly, because you have these pieces that are set up around your site, right? So I'm gonna go back to here. So I removed all the links, but you see you build up all of these, right? And if you look here, you can see how all of these are now interlinking and pushing the power. I mean, if you just look at this, most of the power is getting pushed into here, which is your money site. That's your homepage URL money site. And also getting pushed in here, which is your GMB map and your business site, right? From all these different pieces, okay? So keeping that in mind, so I'm gonna go back to here because it's a little bit easier to see. So now if you start building links into each one of these from external, right? So let me pull this up real quick. That power that you're pushing into these, right? One, it kind of cleans it up and it protects your money site from any issues or any penalties that you would get by building directly to your money site and worrying about your different pieces. Okay, so here, so now if you start building links and powering all these up, so pretend like this pink are all links that are going to your ID page or your SEO Shield, here's the Press Advantage, you know, you're powering all these up with Web 2 and link building, right? So you can see that as all this power is pushed into your shield, and if I click over to here, so now you have all this power being pushed into this external shield, that then gets filtered and cleaned up and protects it through the tier 1 assets and eventually filters into your money site, which is why we're saying it doesn't, you have to wait for this, for Google to collect all this information, right? And then gather it and then eventually push all the power to where you're wanting it to eventually be, which is right here at your homepage URL and right here at your GMB maps. Because if you look at this visually, you can see that all the power that you push through here, these are all interlinking with each other, right? So if I change the color, so you can see how with these links, right, all of these are interlinking each other, right? So the blue is all of these pieces interlinking. And then you can see, if you look through at the red and the green, how that all that hooks together. It's then directing all the power from this, from each one of these into the center here, which is your money site. So that's effectively what's going on in a visual representation. And this doesn't even visually represent all the links that actually are part of the shield. I started drawing them all and it got to where you couldn't even read anything. So that's why I basically, you know, just stuck with a few from each piece so you could kind of see. So I hope that makes sense. I don't know, Marco, is there anything else you want to add to that? That kind of visually hope to make sense of what's going on?
The essence of all of this is here, right? In what Robert is visually representing. This is it. This is exactly what was used in Land Solutions. And you know, about 5-10 minutes ago, Susan writes to me in Slack that we have 746 keywords that we're ranking for. It was last time she checked, I think it was 300 something. And where the hell is it picking up 746 keywords if we're giving it, Rob, we're giving them the same set of keywords over and over and over again at the city and state level. There is, I mean, yeah, we are blogging to some extent, but not as extensively as we should. Everything comes from somewhere else. It's from picking up all of these associations that we've created. There's no way that you can rank for 700 something keywords and not have it on your website unless it exists somewhere else and it's related to your entity. It's what we're doing. We're creating relationships. It's the semantic web. The semantic web is all about, it is about all of these relationships that you see here. Once you begin to understand that, and once you begin to understand what Google is looking for, and once you force feed your variables into that database, and that coexists in that entity, what Google is looking for, what you've added is to the variables that Google is looking for, and nobody else can match you as far as these variables are concerned. That's why we can go after the market level on a shoestring budget and win.
This is what the SEO Shield is and how it works. And you can see just visually here how many links and how much power is being directed directly to your money site and your GMB if you're doing local, to the point where we're saying this is why you don't need to focus on building links to your money site and Google My Business. Because we've gotten quite a few questions, maybe not from our mastermind, but just in general, where people are like, well, if I don't really want a generic SEO shield, I want a more like a niche specific SEO shield. And I think that's where we're going to try to start educating more. But the SEO shield is exactly the opposite of generic. I mean, you're building it directly based on the brand and the keywords that you're going after. And you're building the brand and the keyword association utilizing all those interlinking that we're doing. So it's completely not generic. It's almost, I think, because we simplified it into one product and we call it the SEO Shield, or the SEO Power Shield is what has all of those, that maybe it's almost, it's like that saying, just because it appears to be easy or it appears simple, it must not work. It's simple, but there's a lot of work that goes on behind it. But, you know, just based on the little walkthrough we did, you can see why it's fundamentally based on how the web infrastructure is built. And until they completely change how links and embeds are fundamentally built on the web, it's going to work.